Yeah, welcome back. So, previous part we were doing a little bit of cleanup, made it through Ilex Forest, and now we're in Goldenrod. We're going to talk with some people in this radio tower, and there was a suspicious-looking person outside talking about the radio tower. Kind of looked like a Team Rocket goon. Alright, so there is a number of things that you can do, like little mini-game type things with these points that you can do with the radio tower. I don't plan on really bothering, but it's just something to kind of keep in mind. Put the blue card in the key pocket. So, I believe that that's for like the password minigame. And I think I can't remember if it's here or in the game corner, but you can have a chance to win a Master Ball. It's like really unlikely and it probably isn't possible to actually win it, but just something a little fun fact, you know. So, you need to take this little quiz. It's pretty easy. Correct. Question 2. Is the statement correct? You can't buy a berry at a mart. That is correct. HM1. No. HM1 is cut. Is Faulkner the Violet Gym Leader? Who uses bird Pokemon? That's 2 separate questions. Right again. Here's the final question. Do Goldenrod Game Corner slots have Charmander on their reels? No. No is the correct answer. I guess I forgot to cut out that little pause, because that was the only one that I really didn't remember. If you'd been to the slots already, then you'd probably know, but no, Charmander is not on the slots. Can't remember who all is on the slots. I know Pikachu and I think Jiggly Puff. Or maybe that's the cards, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the slots games, and they actually kind of, I think they started to get rid of those in future games because of Japanese gambling laws. Alright, so if you walk around in the route just south of the city, you can actually find Drowsies, which if you're playing, I want to say Gold? If you're playing one of the other versions, you're going to need a Drowsy in order to get the Whitney Killer. But because we're playing Crystal, you need an Abra instead. So, Drowsy's kind of a pain in the butt because it knows Hypnosis, which can put pretty much any of your Pokemon to sleep. Hence the name Drowsy. I mean, when Gaster's awake, this fight's actually not too bad. I'm determined to get Gaster to wake up. Hey, there we go. Psychic types are really the only type that Lick is actually effective against. Alright, so in that same patch of grass is where you can find your Abras. So we're going to need 2 Abras, because we need 1 Abra to trade, and then we need another Abra because I want an Abra. So you want to have you want to have a Pokemon that can put Abra to sleep, and it needs to be faster than Abra. So Ghastly is actually a really good choice for that. So if you use Mean Look, which you have to train up Ghastly to get. And then use Lick. You should be able to outspeed it and get it so that it has a lower amount of health. It can't run away. Should be pretty easy to catch. But it does take a little bit of setup. Alright. Same patch of grass, you can find a Jiggly Puff. If you like Jiggly Puff. I don't really care about Jiggly Puff, so I'm just gonna, I think I just switch out the, no, I switch out the, to the bear. I do want to get Teddy Ursa leveled up, because Teddy Ursa is great, and I love Teddy Ursa. Also, I gave Teddy Ursa Thunder Punch. It's not very effective against anything that isn't, like, weak to lightning. That's the only downside to it. Unfortunately, since it's an elemental punch, its element, or its type is whatever its elemental type is. It's not a fighting move. Alright. And we got Ditto. A lot of Pokemon in this patch of grass. So I'm going to catch Ditto because there's something that I kind of want Ditto for. And you know anything about Pokemon, and specifically with the breeding scene, if you want a certain Pokemon, Ditto's pretty handy to have, because it'll guarantee you that you get that other Pokemon. Alright, let's put it to sleep. And yeah, I think we switch out the Spearow, although if I remember correctly, this thing wakes up pretty quickly. So since this thing is asleep and we damaged it a little, hopefully it'll just catch, and it doesn't. Alright, just stay asleep. Problem is, I don't really have any good attacks that can damage it without it, without being normal type attacks. Since, Ghastly is, or the Pokemon that Ditto is mimicking, Ghastly, is a ghost type. It's still immune to normal type attacks. So I do use a Great Ball. Because I'd rather just catch the Pokemon than try and risk it, you know, risk running out of regular Pokeballs. So, fitting, I name it, not Baby, I name it Baby, yep, Maker. Because that's primarily what we're going to be using it for, if we use it at all. I know when I did my original playthrough of this, the first playthrough that I tried, like, on my own, I ended up just leaving my Ditto in the daycare at all times. Alright, use Mean Look. So, I kind of want to keep this one over the other one. Alright, super effective. But it failed. Alright, I think this one was a bit more annoying to catch because it didn't stay in the Pokeball. Yep. 3 shakes and it breaks free, because of course it does. Thankfully, all it knows is teleport, so since we used Mean Look, it can't run away. And of course, it just breaks free anyways. Alright, so I'm gonna waste a couple turns using Hypnosis on it. Try and get it so it'll be a little easier to catch. Now when you catch up Pokemon, do you instinctively like hit the B button? Because it obviously doesn't actually do anything, but I feel like a lot of people still do it out of habit. I know I do it occasionally. It's a little different on when you're playing with a keyboard, but when I'd play these games on like the actual handhelds, I would do that a lot. So I'm gonna name it Pss, 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 because I was trying to come up with something that sounded similar to like psychic, but I thought Pss, 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 Pss would be funnier. Alright, so if you talk to this guy with the Abra that you want to trade, and we're going to trade the male Abra, because, I mean, try and have a mostly team of girls, is because, I mean, why not? With the one goofy Totodile male, you know? Alright. So Abra was sent to Mike. So, Mike sends Machop. This is considered the Whitney killer. Since, I mean, the game does give you plenty of different options to take on Whitney. But this is the primary one. The most explicit. This is how you primarily deal with Whitney, since Whitney is a normal type gym leader. So, unfortunately, the Machop's name is Muscles, and you can't change it. You can't change the nickname of Pokemon that was traded and that has a nickname. But, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is 100% hard-coded that the Machop is going to be female. Because if it was male, that would be a problem. Because Whitney's main Pokemon, the most dangerous Pokemon she has, knows. I can't remember the name of it. But if your Pokemon is the opposite gender, which in this case male, it will essentially be nothing. Like, it won't do anything. It can't do anything. So that's why you want to primarily use female Pokemon, because Whitney's Pokemon is female, and it won't. And this is, you know, before Pokemon aren't, you know, lesbians or gay or anything. It's just not a thing. Alright, so I come up here just to kind of explore, try and level up Pokemon a little, and I primarily fight all of these trainers in this route. So I'm kind of helping out Brandon a little by getting rid of these guys for him. I don't know if he realized that I had fought them or not, but I imagine him, like, being very meticulous not to fight any of these guys, not realizing that I had already fought them. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna show my girlfriend I'm hot stuff. Yeah. Alright, dude. Whatever. Whatever you say. So I do want to get Abra leveled up. Now this is me forgetting type matchings on certain types because I don't usually use fighting types very often. But I don't think fighting is strong against ground. In fact, it seems like it's pretty useless. So, switch out the Bellsprout. Help these. The main goal is getting muscles leveled up. At the moment. Because that's going to help us the most in the next gen. While long term we want Abra to level up. Because I want my psychic type to be strong. Meryl. Again, should be pretty easy. I'm kind of considering like speeding these up a little, because these fights do tend to drag on a lot. Probably need to just focus on one Pokemon at a time rather than doing both of these guys. I feel like Low Kick should just punt this thing. It always made me kind of wonder, like, how Pokemon like Machop, Machoke, and Machamp actually, you know, serve humans. Like, they're, especially Machoke and Machamp, they're like twice the size of a normal person. Could easily like overthrow humans if they really wanted to. The fact that they're, you know, humanoid Pokemon is kind of, I don't know, some weird stuff in the Pokemon universe. Pikachu. Hey, you're slightly less chubby in this version. Yeah, at this point, Pikachu has been made the mascot of the series, so a little leaner. Still a little plump, but by comparison to his Gen 1 sprite. Double Team was always one of those moves that never quite made sense to me. Because, like, what exactly is it? Is it the Pokemon moving so fast that it looks like there's two of them? Because, I mean, that seems pretty unbelievable. Or is it, the Pokemon is just projecting a hologram of itself, which also is unbelievable. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be trying to bring logic into a Pokemon game. It's honestly a pretty dangerous thing to do. Alright. Let's beat this noob. I just imagine, like, if we ever fight a Meowth or a Persian, and I send out, Abra, it's just gonna get so confused. Like, the frick said, pss, 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 pss. I don't know. I've never really done that to a cat that actually reacted like it was really confused. I'm curious if that's like a actual thing. I'm sure it is. Like, I'm sure some cats get really confused as to what that is. Let's get a Chop out there to get some experience. Fortunately, there's no really good place to level up Machop at the moment. Thankfully, Geodude doesn't actually hurt itself. Doesn't actually hurt itself. It's so annoying when that happens, because you're just wasting a turn, and losing even more health than what you should. Diglett, yeah. Let's use muscles. Well, more specifically, let's get muscle. Some more XP. Yeah, I am kind of considering speeding these up just a tad. I don't know if I'm going to be showing off every trainer battle from now on, because I realize that there are a lot of them in Gen 2 in particular, and that does take a lot of extra time that could be used towards, you know, doing other things, and making it so that there's less episodes. Not the creeper. All dexterity. Okay, that's a phrase that I really didn't need to hear. This guy's gonna have all Voltorbs, isn't he? Dude, put your balls away. Like, does this dude not know that I'm, like, 10? Alright, so naturally I get a magnitude 9 on a level 2 Voltorb. Great. Wow. Fighting these Voltorbs. I don't know why, but there's always so many little, like, random noises from my house. Like, I think it's the refrigerator, but it's so odd. Because I always think, like, someone's about to, like, is moving around out there. Alright, so let's use Magnitude. I don't know if this thing is trying to, like, prepare for an explosion or something. Magnitude 8. not bad. Like to see the high magnitudes. The low ones kind of suck because they barely do any damage for some reason. Even though the type matching is good in our favor. Trying to spread out the XP between both Abra and Machop so that they're both getting levels. Because unfortunately you can't really teach Abra anything. Only thing that it'll know is teleport. Thankfully it's not like Magikarp where it takes to level 20 in order to, evolve it. Magnitude 6. There's a fight in one of these episodes where I just got the worst luck with magnitude. Got like some of the lowest magnitudes on a very important fight. I think it might have actually been the gym battle. It took forever to beat her because of that. Magnitude 9. Nice. Use up all the luck on the magnitudes in this episode. Or in this fight. What a jolt. Alright, dude. I was considering fighting that guy right now. I think we do it later. But I did want to fight this police officer, since you can only fight him at night. Police officers are surprisingly tough. Like, I think it's primarily just because the Pokemon tend to be a little more higher level. This one is kind of a bad example, but that last police officer, had pretty high, I think it was like a level 17 Growlithe, which is pretty comparable to what we have. Excellent. I think they only ever have Growlithe, but I could be wrong. Maybe one of them might have an Arcanine later on the road. Muscles might be able to deal with it. That's the move that we really wanted, was Karate Chop. Problem with low kick is it doesn't have as good of accuracy. Karate Chop, on the other hand, has pretty good accuracy, and it's pretty powerful. Excellent. The bear leveled up. Yeah, alright. Move along. I think I use Potion just because I don't feel like walking back to the Pokemon Center. Do. Guys, it's like Midnight, why are you challenging me to Pokemon battles in the middle of a forest, a field, or really wish Abra had already evolved so it could learn confusion and just take out this thing instead of me having to constantly switch out. Yeah, unfortunately, Thunder Punch does not do as much damage as you'd think. Unless it's against a type that is weak to lightning. Which does really kind of suck. But it is still helpful to have a lightning-based attack. Or electric-based attack. I'm thinking of, well, I mean, lightning, electric, kind of the same thing, but I was thinking of, Final Fantasy 1, where it's not thunder or electric, it's lightning, lit 1, lit 2, that type of stuff. In later games, it gets changed to thunder, and I mean, it's not the same. Creepers. Alright, this guy sucks. Especially if you don't have a fire type yet. Because, unfortunately, I don't really have anything to deal with this thing. And yeah, unfortunately one of my Pokemon is completely weak to grass. And it knows Sleep Powder, which makes it a pain to fight. Because you spend, like, 20 minutes trying to just get your Pokemon to wake up, use an awakening or whatever. It just uses Sleep Powder again. I don't know, I feel like it should only be allowed to use status type moves like that, like maybe once or twice in a battle. And even then, you should have to wait for like 5 minutes before you can use it again. Okay. Yeah. And I really wish that you could just run from trainer battles. Like, why is it necessary to make you have to sit through a trainer battle like this? If you're not doing well, like, I don't know. I feel like you should be allowed to just challenge trainers when you want to fight them, not when you cross their paths and they just decide, oh, hey, we're battling now. Against your will. This is assault. Thankfully, Constrict doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. But unfortunately, especially when you get unlucky like that with... Yeah, this fight annoyed the crap out of me. I actually thought I might lose. Because of just how irritating this guy's Tangela is. Use my one awakening to wake up the bear. And get like one turn to try and do something. And it uses sleep powder again. Oh, maybe 2 turns. I'm pretty sure it does use sleep powder again, though. Yep. See, this is the instance that annoys me the most, is when... Like, it probably does wait a few turns before using sleep powder again, but... I don't know. It's a frustrating situation to be in, because you can't do anything. So, my only other kind of thought is to use Gaster's hypnosis to try and put it to sleep. At least buy myself enough time to do something. Lick really won't do much to it. Alright, so that at least keeps the fight from being just constant sleep for my Pokemon. And send out Bellsprout. And of course it wakes up. But I don't think sleep powder affects Bellsprout. I do kind of wish Cut would do more damage against grass types, specifically. Like, that's the one thing that never really made sense to me. Why does Cut not do more damage? I'm slightly higher level than it. It seems like that would make the most sense. Or it would make more sense. I realize Cut is not an overly powerful attack, but I feel like it should get a boost against grass types. Alright, it's finally dead. Everyone gets XP. One thing I did kind of forget to mention, I believe all traded Pokemon get a boost in XP. So Muscles is getting a little more XP than everyone else when it fights in a battle, because we had traded it. Alright. There's my fire type. That's what we like to see. Alright, so we're going to switch over to Gaster, because Gaster is faster than... I think it's faster than Bellsprout, but I could be wrong. And hope that it doesn't use Roar on us to kick us out of the battle. And we'll use Hypnosis on it to put it to sleep. So I don't want to use Totodile because I don't want to use Water Gun, I should say, because I don't want to accidentally kill it. Not that we even have Totodile in the party right now. So I think I use the bear. Alright, that should be enough to hopefully catch it, as long as it stays asleep. We only have 2 Pokeballs, though. So, fingers crossed, it just, stays in the Pokeball like how it should. And it does. Excellent. So now we have our Fire type for the game. Assuming Brandon doesn't find a different Fire type Pokemon that he wants. And I don't quite spell this correctly because I kind of wanted an extra character, or didn't have the extra character that I wanted. But I named this Happy Dogo. So this is a reference to our senior design project that Brandon and I did, where we made a pet feeder and an automatic pet feeder, and to complement it, we had a phone app that we called the Happy Doggo. So Growlithe, he's a happy doggo, so I named our Growlithe Happy Doggo because, you know, why not? Also, this looks like there should be something here. Alright. Interesting. I guess you just had to talk with him to initiate the battle. Alright, so this is a bird keeper. So, he has bird Pokemon, which should be fairly easy to handle. Especially with my bear having Thunder Punch. This is why you want Thunder Punch. It does a lot of damage against flying type Pokemon. That's why I wish I had Thunder Punch for the first gen. Nice. Paralyzed. I don't know. Paralyzed, I find to be one of the weaker status ailments. It's annoying when, you know, you can't do anything. But unlike sleep, there's still a chance that you can do something. I guess the trade-off is that it won't just go away at some point during the battle. Mom, stop wasting my money. So yeah, occasionally your mom will find or buy something, and it's alright. It's usually nothing too special. Probably the most annoying is when she buys, like, the Pokemon dolls. But it is what it is. Sorry I'm being quiet, there's just not really much to say other than the duck butt Pokemon just fainted. This guy has 2 Magmars, oddly enough. You'd think that maybe like he'd have like a Magby or something, just to kind of, you know, show off the pre-evolution of Magmar. Smog. Really shouldn't do any damage, yeah. Pretty weak attack against Geodude. It's annoying, like the sound's annoying, but yeah. It's not very effective. Magnitude 9. That's what we like to see. Fortunately, I'm like sucking up all the luck with the magnitudes here. Because when I need it the most, it's not going to be there. Which really sucks. I scorched the tip of my nose. Ouch. Alright, so that's it for this part. And then in the next part, we're going to be taking on the third gym. So I'll see you guys then.